Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Really excited to share this video with you guys. I think it turned out really cool. You'll see as this video progresses, it's going to get darker and darker, and I finally get a chance to do some running with my rock lights that I installed probably a few weeks ago at this point. So was really excited to get out and test these things. They are way brighter than I thought they would be. I'll put up a link down below of what lights I used. They are an NHX brand, like a little dual, it's a pod light with a little dual LED chip inside, and they're very bright. I have a total of 8 kind of spread out evenly on the bottom of the chassis, 2 in the front wheel well, and you'll see later in the video as the truck kind of rolls over, you'll kind of get a better idea of where they're at. But I'll put a link down below if you guys are interested. And hit me up in the comments if you have any other questions. I could always do a video, a separate, like, quick video of how and where I installed them, but they turned out great. You can see I also have these pod lights up on the rear cage section, just shining down on my new fancy scale accessories. I'll also share a link for those. I forget the guy's name, but pretty sure I got them off of eBay. I got to go back and check. Came out really good. It's a really cool, like, little storage bin and a chainsaw and a gas can, a couple oil cans. He made the high lift jack that I have mounted on the hood. Really, really nice job. All 3D printed. The detail is really nice and nice, good quality. So really happy with that. You can see I just have like a little kind of net going over the top of the cage for another cool little effect, and I mounted my recovery boards right to my kind of Kydex flatbed deck on the back. And the Kydex it's just a plastic material that I use for a lot of projects. It's like heat moldable. In this case, it was just a flat deck, but worked out really nice. Mounted all my accessories on there, got rid of that heavy spare tire. Yeah, this added a tiny bit of weight to the back, but nowhere near the level of the spare tire. Oh, and by the way, don't tell anyone, but that is a Traxxas UDR drive shaft I strapped on there just as another little cool looking accessory. I didn't have one of the SCX6 drive shafts, and honestly I feel like that one is way more scale looking anyway, the UDR one, so you know, that's fine. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, so super happy with the rock lights. I have them set up on a switch. I changed out the stock radio. I have a FlySky GT5 6-channel, and I have a lighting switch that I can control from my radio just to turn everything on and off, because I'd imagine they drain a decent amount of power. I don't really feel the need to run them in direct sunlight, you know, but for this time of day, like dusk, you know, nighttime, it's nice to be able to flip them on at some point without having to open up the body and plug wires in and crap. So that worked out pretty well. You'll see I'm getting into some water up here. I am running some anti-foam, so I'm not concerned about getting water in my tires. I love playing in the water with this truck. It's a lot of fun. This area is amazing. This is a spot we've been to before. You'll see some of my running video was on the other side of this river in the past, and this side was never super interesting until we had like crazy flooding recently, and it eroded this entire bank where there's sand. Like, look, there's like, this is northern New Jersey. Like, there's not really, there are little spots here and there. I do have like a sand pit about half an hour away, but they're tiny little spots. This is just like a really cool area that has a mixture of rocks and sand, and there's even like some black colored sand in here. I don't know, silt of some kind, all these little pebbles, but then huge rock gardens that were at one point covered with dirt and silt, I guess, and now they're all uncovered. So this just opened up a gigantic new crawling area, and I was blown away when I saw this. I couldn't believe how much it changed since the last time I was here. But hey, you know, sometimes bad weather gives you a little bit of a blessing, and kind of opened up a whole new crawler area for us, and definitely going to be coming back here quite a bit, especially in the summer. The river is going to be a cool place to run my jet boat. So actually considering building a trailer for the SCX6 so I can tow my jet boat down through here, down to the river. So look for that in a future video. You know, that's going to be a little project I just haven't gotten around to yet, but at some point. But yeah, so anyway, let me know what you guys think on this subject. The FOC in this motor, which is the field oriented control, which is basically like a throttle matching program in the ESC, and I've had it set to low in my previous videos. I went to set it to high just to see if I like the effect more, and you'll notice like how herky-jerky the truck is. It's very stop and go. I think I mentioned it in a previous video, like it kind of seems like the driver is learning to drive a manual trans for the first time, and it's very like it's just back and forth, and especially in this terrain because there's nothing consistent. This is very just up down, stop go, and the changes in the elevation are just every foot. You're either going up or back down, or hitting an obstacle, and you would think that's where you would want that throttle matching to come into play, but it works well, don't get me wrong, it works fine, but I think maybe I'm just more critical because I'm making a video, and it just takes away the smoothness. Like I'm trying to drive as smooth as possible and make it look very smooth and natural and realistic looking, and you get this kind of like just a movement from the truck that wouldn't really, it just takes it away from the realism, and it just kind of makes it look a little bit like toyish to me. So I really wish that they had the option. You could set it to, with the programmer, the V2 Spectrum programmer card, you can set it to low, medium, or high. In low, it is better. I'm definitely going to go back to low. I just wish they gave us the option to turn it off completely. That would make me happier. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm just being overcritical about it. Let me know if you guys have changed it on yours, and if you like it better, or what the deal is, or if you even notice it in the videos. But I swear I'm like a smoother driver than what this truck is showing here. So I'm not a huge fan of it. I may at some point upgrade the motor to like a yellow jacket, black jacket from Three Brothers, but then I got to get a different ESC. I don't know. It's a whole big project. So, and other than that, I like the motor ESC. Everything is great. I'm not a fan of this FOC on this truck. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of being super critical. But anyway, other than that, I am still running my anti-sway bar in the rear. Check out a previous video if you want to see that. I promise at one point I'm going to get playlists together on my channel so that you don't have to search around if I mention a video and you want to check it out. There you can see my rock lights underneath there. But yeah, I'm going to try to get playlists together so I can group everything together, and just kind of, now that I have enough videos to really do that, it kind of makes sense. But in this area, speaking of the anti-sway bar, I feel like a lot of guys will geek out over like flex on a crawler, right? Like how much flex, look how much flex. You get all the pictures online of guys, the wheel up on a beer can or something, or, you know, they go out of their way to put as much flex as possible. But for where I normally crawl, like up on like more like slab rock and really more like difficult crawling lines, it doesn't make that much more sense. It doesn't make that much sense to have that much more flex. It really just kind of makes your vehicle more tippy and doesn't do much for you. But in this terrain, I do get it. So now, I guess if guys are running in this kind of bouldery terrain, I could see where you would want a good amount of flex, because it really does help you just keep up your momentum and your forward drive just by keeping the tires on the ground. So I'm not saying this truck doesn't have enough in this configuration, and my anti-sway bar isn't really limiting it very much, right? I will still get full droop from one wheel to the other, so, and full compression, but it just kind of acts as a little, it just makes it stiffer in the rear, but not a big deal. I could see like where maybe some different shock angles, different shock mounting points might give you a little bit of extra flex, could help in this situation. But this isn't the only place I crawl, so I don't think I'm going to go chasing that down. I'm pretty happy with the way. I'm actually really blown away by the way this thing went through these boulder fields. I mean, this is really big, chunky terrain. and this thing just plowed right through. And I was not really focusing on driving as much as I would. I was really kind of just trying to get some video, and I didn't really scout anything out. I didn't know what was coming up. I just kind of moved forward, filmed a little bit, moved forward, filmed a little bit, and this thing really blew me away, with the terrain it was getting through. It gets hung up here and there, but a lot of that was just me not really paying close enough attention to pick a great line. And again, I'm filming it from the side. I'm looking at my phone. I wasn't really looking where I was going a lot of the time, to be honest. I was kind of just getting an idea of what would look cool and then just driving. So with that said, it did amazingly well. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I had zero issues with it too. Once again, this truck is really built tough. So no complaints, man. I just had a blast with this thing tonight. And really happy I came to this spot. I had an idea that it was going to be better just based on what I had seen on the other side of the river. So I'm really glad I checked this out. I'm going to be coming back here quite a bit. What else? The servo. Let's talk about the servo. I did a servo test in the past. I'm still running this Spectrum fifth scale servo in here. And, in this terrain really strains a servo. There were plenty of times where it was just like, nope, I don't feel like turning. And it started getting a little noisy, and I'm sure it probably started heating up a little bit. At some point I'm gonna end up doing a kind of pricey servo upgrade. I think it just needs it. It's, again, I'm not competing. I could just back up and take a different line, but there were definitely plenty of times in this run where I was like, whoa, it's really not, the steering is really not great. So it's on my short list of modifications on this. I think I would probably do the steering servo before I spent any money upgrading the motor and the ESC. But we'll see what happens. I'll see if I can find a deal on something. Hopefully, fifth scale servo goes on sale at some point in the near future. I'm also thinking what would be cool, seeing how cool this thing looks at night with the rock lights on and stuff. I think I need to do a driver figure and a little interior light. I think that would be super cool. So that's going to be another project. I'm curious what you guys are running to, like what size driver figures and what you think fits in here best. I've seen a couple in the Facebook group, and I think they look pretty cool. Honestly, I saw one that looked really cool, like the jet boat that I have, the Pro Boat Jetstream, the Blake Wilkie driver figure from that actually fits in here really, really well. So I don't know if I could get my hands on one. That would be pretty cool. But then again, if I was towing the boat, he would then exist in the truck and the boat at the same time. So that would be kind of crazy. So the other thing I'm trying different here is I'm filming this in 4K at a 24 frame per second frame rate. And I think it looks cool. I'll have to kind of check it out on, my TV, a bigger screen after I upload it, but I kind of really like the video quality, and I'm surprised at how well the lighting is for how dark it was. I'm recording all of this on an iPhone, and it kept telling me, low light, whatever, and I think it looks pretty damn good. It really showcases the lighting really well. I wouldn't want it to be like overly bright and look like it's just dusk the whole time. So let me know what you guys think. If you notice like a slight improvement in the video quality, I will continue. I'm sure it's going to be a little longer to upload the video, but I'll continue doing it this way if the quality is that much better. So yeah, this spot, I love this area, just with the sand and all the rocks mixed in. It just does not look like anything else in my immediate area in terms of terrain, so really cool. And just these little kind of pockets of water here and there. And I think when the river's still a little bit high, I think when it recedes a little bit more, it's going to open up even a little bit more on the shoreline in terms of getting into the water and playing around. And I really didn't even go that far out upstream. I think there's a lot more to be found on this side, and I definitely want to get back here and check it out. I'm going to have to go back in the daytime and just do a little more exploring and maybe kind of mark out a little bit of a path. It's funny, on the way back, I started to kind of backtrack, and it was nice that I could follow my tire tracks back because it was pitch dark. I mean, I could see perfectly fine directly in front of the truck, but where I was walking, I didn't bring any other light with me like an idiot. I had planned on bringing some kind of like a headlamp strap so I could wear that and have my hands free, but I just wasn't thinking of it, and it got really dark on the way back. Like I said, I was able to follow my tire tracks for a little while, but then when I started getting into the leaves and stuff, I was like, oh man, and I knew where I was going. I wasn't super far away, but part of the hill got so steep, I could barely make it up it, and I had to kind of backtrack and find a different way to climb back up, and I'm like crawling up this hill. It was pretty crazy, but yeah, you can see how bright these lights are. It's not fully dark yet, but it's pretty dark out, and I could see amazingly well with just these lights. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing. Give me a like. It helps the channel a lot. And stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to have a lot more coming up in the very near future, especially once it warms up and I can get back outside. Snowstorm coming tonight, so you're probably going to see some snow videos coming up. Maybe the sledge will make an appearance after a very, very long time. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot, and catch you in the next video. Later.